Okay, this is Double Shot of Love. Full name of the show, Double Shot of Love with DJ, Pauly D, and Vinny. They had to really wedge their name in. So we're really excited about the show.
Are we?
Because it's a super hot mess. So if you are normally one of our Sister Wives viewers, I hope you will consider this show, or Temptation Island, or Seeking Sister Wife.
Because it's about the same thing.
It's about the same. It's just a hot mess. Now, it's a...
Without any redeeming value.
It's episode 1, season 1, Double Trouble. They presented it with almost no commercials. We spent almost the whole episode going, wait, you missed it! Stop, back up!
Yeah.
And it was fun because it was like watching a show with my grandfather. Because John didn't know who anyone was.
Yeah, this is true.
They didn't initially know. They knew it was a dating show. And this is very much, if you watched Flavor of Love or Rock of Love, which I know you didn't, back in the day, it's that same feel. They have likable hosts. I found Pauly D and Vinny reasonably likable. I watched, I don't know, a season or so of Shore House. I don't remember a lot of it, Jersey Shore. I did see Pauly D recently on Marriage Boot Camp with Audrey, who was crazy. He seems like a really likable guy. I can see why he has sort of a long-term... He doesn't take himself...
Is this the guy with the Goomba haircut?
This is the one that's orange. It's literally, yes.
It's it's an upside-down Goomba. Just turn him over and his head is a Goomba.
From Super Mario Brothers, just to be clear. You're not making racial slurs. Sounds like it. Well, I mean, anyway.
It's a video game slur.
Okay, so, but they were trying to guess, and one of them was like, oh, I hope it's Zac Efron. So I was like, who's Zac Efron? So I, mentioned a bunch of his movies, and John has no idea. Then Post Malone, and I was laughing, and he's like, well, I gotta look up who this guy is. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you, for the amount of time that you're on the internet, I'm really surprised. So they get there, they decide they're gonna pull a prank. As far as pranks go, it's not really much of a prank.
It was scripted.
I know it is scripted, but pranks can be scripted, but this wasn't a prank. But I did like the one girl who's like, oh, I hope it's The Rock. And I'm like, he's married with a newborn, so I really don't think that would be the best show.
Well, maybe it's a fling show.
But now if they could somehow get like, this is where they keep saying,
on that show.
We keep saying Jeff Bezos. If it was like, hey, he's going to have a dating show, but he's going to pick up to 4 of you.
Right. If it was Jeff Bezos, I'd sign me up for that show.
Yeah, all over. But they're going to do a prank. It's not really a prank. It's not a prank. It's not really a prank because it's not really...
Why don't you say the same thing again?
Shut up. But I think what they did was they knew that if it was... Vinny seems like a nice guy. He's kind of shy, which is...
Is this the one with the blow dryer in his armpit?
Yes, who was having practically the panic attack. I don't blame him. But I think the idea was they said, hey, if we go down there and we say, we're both on this show, all 20 girls would go right to Pauly D, and Vinny would be like, talking to the PA. You know what I mean? So I think what they did is they did this on purpose to make sure that Vinny got some time. I think it's actually a reasonably smart idea if you're going to have a show like this. I think the idea of there being 2 of them, to me, is interesting because the scenes where they're talking about the girls is far more interesting than what? Do you disagree? So the premise
I think it'll be interesting if by the time the show ends, they go off together and don't pick any girls.
I think that's kind of roughly, not in a relationship way, but it's season 1 of a dating show.
No, I mean in a very literal
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, I think in a non-homosexual intimate relationship way, that is what's going to happen because they're planning on a season 2 already. It's not much of a show, if a dating show, if the plan is, which is what they did with Rock of Love and Flavor of Love. He kept coming back season after season after season. And he kept doing it. And he kept sleeping with chicks. And at one point, he had a girlfriend. Speaking of which, we only review the show as we see it. So if you are on the show and you're like, this is so unfair, I totally get it.
Just know it's our opinions and we are right.
Yeah, sorry.
So, yeah.
But I'm sure you're all lovely people when you're not crawling on the floor,
I am sure the opposite of that.
And drinking. Okay, so I'm sorry to get back to it. So the premise was Pauly D and Vinny. So for 10 of the girls, Vinny pretends to be the bachelor and Pauly D is the host. And kudos, either they cut it out or the girls didn't actually go, oh man, I don't want to date Vinny. Well, you got Pauly D right there. So kudos to the girls for either not saying it.
So I'm sure you recognize a couple faces too, like Big Ange and Tila Tequila.
I'm really oh, I told you that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. And one of them really does look like
Pretty sure she tried to friend me on MySpace back in the day.
Yeah, I'm sure it was really. I'm sure it was really Tila Tequila that was friending you.
She tried to friend everybody, honey.
Is that what she did?
Yeah.
Or maybe a fake one?
No, she tried to friend everybody.
Okay.
Pretty sure she was at like 50,000 when she tried to friend me. I'm like, who is this?
Oh, like the Twitter people. Anyway, so they do it. I'll show you know if you have any doubt about. I do think there's a chance, considering that Pauly D did date someone from his like Famously Single. He was on the show Famously Single. That's where he met Aubrey.
Oh yeah, that show.
It's just as likely as anywhere else in their life that they're going to meet someone that they like, especially because producers picked out people specifically that look interesting. But you know it's not too serious, which is why I don't have a problem making fun of them.
This is reality TV.
Because they kept the crazy pants. The one girl, I've redhead who was like sobbing. I'm sorry. I've been there. My 20s were a hot mess. I was not on a reality. Don't look at me like that. The difference between alcohol being like, oh, okay, I'm a little looser, I'm a little more relaxed, and like total train wreck is nothing. The difference is nothing. Like at any moment you can go, and that's what happened. She drank too much and she got a little nutso. And the only reason they would have, I guarantee you, they would have kept her if she hadn't self-eliminated. If she hadn't been like, I want to leave. They would have kept her, because that's how you know it's not like a full real dating show. Like he's not really desperately looking for love, is because they kept the ones that they were like, oh, she kind of scares me and she seems like a stalker, but I'll give her another week. Whereas like the nice quiet girls that were beautiful, they were like, well, I just don't really feel like there was a connection. Did you watch the show?
Yeah, they're all crazy. And anyway, it's going to make for good reality TV, I think.
So there you go. We move into it. We end the episode with, so they had 20, they got rid of 2. They had 10, they got rid of 2. They had 10, they got rid of 2. So now they have 16 combined.
And they all bring them together.
And they, at the very end of the episode, why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know.
Did you forget?
My math, yeah.
Okay. So they're like, woohoo, we're going to have a, oh, we were all, show you how old we are. They showed the girls walking from behind and they all were wearing thongs and we were like, oh, because we're that old. Okay, our little sergeant needs us. So we will see you soon. Please watch the show. Please talk with us. No matter what your opinion is, as long as you're not nasty, we don't care. This is not, we don't get paid. So anyway, we'll catch you soon.